the United Nations, the US, the powers that be, wait until a vote and then ask the perpetrator of the genocide if they agree to the terms of a ceasefire while arming them with the weapons to continue the genocide, and then waiting for them to take their time and decide whether or not they agree to stop the genocide. People are pretending like there's some kind of a symmetry here between the perpetrators and the victims of a genocide. And again, I'm saying the word genocide in case somebody doesn't understand the full meaning of this horrific slaughter of human beings that has taken place in Gaza over the last few months. So I think it's a farce. I think the entire conversation about ceasefire is a farce. I think a ceasefire is the most inappropriate response, is a completely inappropriate response to genocide. Genocide calls for severe sanctions, for imposing on the perpetrator of the genocide severe sanctions to the point where they are choked. They can no longer commit the genocide. They have no bullets, no guns, no tanks, no planes, no nothing. They cannot move until they stop. That's the appropriate response. Another resolution, ceasefire this, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, Ramadan, not Ramadan. This is, it's horrifying. Israel, from the very, very, very early days, from the very establishment of the state of Israel, the Israeli government's made it absolutely clear that they do not care about the United Nations. The United Nations has no relevance to them one way or the other. They don't care. And of course, the United Nations has no means to enforce, unless America decides to enforce, unless NATO allies decide to bomb somebody. Nobody has, if there's no means of enforcement, that's a very good question. What is the point? Since nobody is enforcing the resolutions, nobody cares about the resolutions, and then you've got a state like Israel, and of course, there's a double standard here. Besides, if it's an African country or an Asian country or brown-skinned people, then the standards are different. Perpetrating the crimes, but when it's Israel perpetrating the crimes, the United States or any of its